What once was common knowledge has now started to fall by the wayside. There's a lot of techniques involved in using a large Maglite flashlight that aren't involved and you can't use with the new modern lights. Today we're going to look at how to get the most out of the flashlight that you may well be stuck with, either through policy or hard economic realities. Stick around. Alright man, take a seat, buckle up. Ordinarily we'd start with orientation of the car here, but we got calls pending and we got to get to them. So, we're rolling. We're going to have to learn on the way. Alright, today I'd like to talk here a minute about some old school stuff that might still be applicable to some people, especially if you're on a budget, whether you work for a small town department or a security company, or you just don't have a whole lot of money where you're working. And that is the use of the D-cell Maglite for patrol, especially for when searching buildings or there's some type of issue where you're going to have to use a handgun. I'm using a blue gun today. This is a good thing to have if you're going to do a lot of training. Buy yourself a blue gun that closely resembles the firearm that you use, especially if it'll fit in the same holsters. So to use a D-cell Maglite when searching a building, there's a couple methods that you should keep in mind that are going to be good options for you in dealing with the situation. If you're going to be doing your search by the point of the firearm, you want to take your flashlight and hold it with your left hand and put your ring finger on the switch. So use your ring finger to activate the switch. Draw your firearm up. Put your hand with the Maglite under the firearm, and you can rest the flashlight, the back end of the D-cell flashlight or C-cell flashlight, on your arm, and then you clamp your two hands together. So you see how this looks. Look at it from your perspective. So we draw our firearm out, we take our flashlight, put it in our hand, ring finger on the switch, put them back to back, and rest it on your arm. Try this at home and you're going to find that it's a lot easier to hold the weight up. Your arm is holding some of the weight of the firearm, and your forearm is holding some of the weight of the flashlight. You can hold this up like this all day and get a pretty decent sight picture down the sights, even one-handed and with a lot of support that you would generally get from having a two-handed hold. Now, if you're searching the building and at some point you declare, all right, well, it doesn't look like there's anybody inside here, or for whatever reason you don't want to point your firearm at what you're searching. Let's say there's a lot of debris on the ground and you're more afraid that you're going to trip on something and end up losing the gun or accidentally pulling the trigger when you trip, then you are likely to find somebody. Let's say we holster up the firearm and we can take the Maglite and rest it on our shoulder, still with our ring finger on the switch, and we can illuminate whatever it is inside the building without having to carry this out or carry it like this where we're putting a lot of strain on our wrist. It doesn't sound like a lot putting strain on your wrist, but it can become an issue over time, just like any repetitive motion can become an issue, and it can fatigue you, especially on a long shift, and if you're going to be searching a large building. Let's say you're at a 12-acre facility that's all indoors and you have to search it, or you have an auto wrecking yard that you're going to have to search. It's common issues with security work. These lights will run 8 hours, so I like to think of ways that I'd be able to use it for the full 8 hours, which is what they're really good for. It's why these are still good for security work. Well, one of many reasons. Also, if you have it up on your shoulder and you're using your finger to activate the switch, it's very easy. If somebody attacks you, we still have our exigent impact weapon of the baton over our shoulder. In fact, there are new flashlights that have come out, made by ASP, I believe it is, that they have a extendable baton with a flashlight attached to the end of it. So you can use it in this method, and then if somebody attacks you and you need an impact weapon immediately, you can deploy it by flicking it out off of your shoulder. So think about those. Hopefully that helps you when you have to work a facility late at night, or if you're just still stuck with the Maglite or Mag Charger these day and age, or if you need a light that will run 8 to 10 hours, the Maglite is pretty much the only option that I found that's going to give you a good solid 100 lumens for 8 hours. Especially the big 5 and 6 cell models. For a lot of large facilities, that's kind of the way to go. Well, now if you like that video, go ahead and subscribe, because there's a whole lot more to come. As soon as I finish up these calls, go 10-8. County 291. 291.